Okay, guys, today we'll talk about compression. So, first thing first is what be compression? Hmm? Compression in music or in music production or music audio engineering. Okay, compression. I don't dey hear this compression thing, so we could talk compression. So, what be compression first? Now I go talk compression like this. So, compression are the process where audio engineers they use to take reduce the volume range of tracks or recording or audio signal. Wetin I mean? Okay, wetin I mean? Wetin you mean now, Sam? So compression means say compression means say how to take a loud part of music and a low part of one particular signal and blend them together. So when it gets high dynamic range, when the dynamic range plenty, when the volume far from each other, how to bring the high part and the low part and blend them together. We say the loudest part go sound normal, while the lowest part go come up. It go sound, so everything go balance. So even when the person they low, or when the instrument they low, you could hear them. Or when the person they sing they low, you could hear them. When the person they loud, you could see the everything go balance. Understand? For the previous video why I post before I won't post this one, previous video why I post before I post this one. Yeah, so I've been talk about that compression. Nobody I talk about compression. Now there I thought I would talk about this compression. So now the process where you go carry you bring the loudest part of music and carry the lowest part of music and blend them together. So why would they use compression? Why would they use compression? To even out the performance of a particular audio track. Mostly we get singer now when they consistent. When they consistent in their voice like this, I be shout or somebody I be sing, they know they get the voice they bala bala. It is hard to even see person I be sing where they consistent with their vocal. So now to even out that audio signal, yeah, to make sure say a balance, to give them to make them they call them punch, to make them they punchier, you understand? Make it they punchier, make it sound more polished. That is why they use compression. So me I go advise you, yeah, use compression for everything. Use compression for everything. Compression makes everything come together. You understand? It brings everything together. Yeah. Compression bring everything together to make sure that everything sits better in the mix. It's compression. Compression get that work to make sure say everything sits better in the mix. Yeah. So make we quickly talk about the compression. So make we dive into one. I won't pull out my this thing come aside compressor. I say I go use for the last video. I say I go use FabFilter Pro EQ. So I will use FabFilter Pro-C for the compressor. So we can go grab them out. FabFilter Pro-C compressor 2. Good. So now wetin be these things wey dey here? Na parameters they be, na controls, all these knobs wey dey see here. Doesn't mean I usually get issues with knob. So but all these things we see here na control. Wetin be all these knobs wey dey see here? First we get threshold, we get ratio, we get attack, and we get release. Then we get the dry mix, the dry and wet mix, and we get the auto gain. We get the gain. I go take boost the volume back up to make sure say you no lose volume in as much as you try compress your audio signal. So first thing first, wetin be this threshold now? This threshold is the volume level at which you want your compression to kick in. So if I carry and go up now, you go see say it go up. That's where my compression is going to kick in. If I carry and come down, you go see say it come down. That's where my compressor go kick in. Now the ratio, wetin be ratio? Ratio na how much signal you get they reduce. How much signal they reduce once the audio signal passes through the threshold. I don't know if you get how much signal it they reduce once the audio signal passes through the threshold. You get now. Release. You get now. Release. Wetin be the release? This release you see for here now. Wetin be release? Release now. I will come attack. Attack now last thing I want to talk about. Wetin be release? Release now how fast the compression stops after the signal don't go below the threshold. Like more as you now see this now audio signal now. So it come like this. I'll take it okay like this. If they come like this, as they come like this, it can't open like this. Pooh, you get. So that threshold now go allow the ratio, the volume of the stuff go kick in. When it kick in, it don't bring them down. So the release now, what the release they do be say after the compressor don't hold them, the release go come help release and make it go up, come back, come balance the way you supposed balance before. So wetin be the attack? The attack now how fast you want make the compressor start the work. Like if the thing come pull and that part loud, let's say like pull, you want make the compressor start the work after that first pull don't enter, or make it start the work even before the first pull enter. You understand? So now the work of the attack. Wetin be makeup gain, which is this gain where I see for here. This gain will go help you increase, make you not lose anything. The makeup gain will help you increase the overall volume after compression. Now you don't compress everything, the audio now don't dey compressed. Wetin this gain will help you do now to help you increase, so that you get the balance between the sides. You get those balancing and everything. So you go help you increase how much of the kaya wey you don't do, you get now how much of the compression wey you don't do, how you go take pass. Now this dry gain now, this dry now the unprocessed sound, if you still want to make it still dey come out, I don't need that for any teacher. So now just this one I dey talk about. So if it's inside, this is why I talk about, say I go teach this one now, because of the sidechain feature we dey for here. This sidechain feature we dey for here now be say you feel after you don't compress am, you feel still EQ am. You feel EQ am for down here. You understand? You fit do some low cut and high cut. If you reduce the low cut, reduce the high cut based on wetin you want, where you want make the compressor the hit hard pass. You understand? You fit still compress am. You fit still after compressor, you fit still EQ am. So now the work of this side chain be that. You understand? So that is all for this compression. So I want to go deep into this compression today, because compression the certain time they get some. I put some things down for here. Say I will talk about compression. The certain time they get this plenty question. No matter how much they explain compression for you, or I explain compression for you, you know go really get them until we talk about this thing. So I will put one diagram now. We'll go see the diagram. So the waveform way they on top, the waveform way they on top has a wide dynamic range, which means it no they compressed. You can see both the loud part and the high part. You can see everything, the loud part and the low part. You feel see everything. You can tell that this audio way they up, no they compressed. It they natural, you know, you get your own variation, and the intensity just full everywhere. You get. So the quieter part they too low, while the louder part they too loud. So but if you see the waveform where they for down now, you see amba, everything balanced. You get everything balanced. It appears more uniform. You get it they together. You get the quieter part, no too they quiet. It they everywhere. The louder part, everything just they. You know they too loud. You know they too soft. It just they in between. You get a more consistent sound with the waveform where they for up. You get. So now the natural dynamics now don't come out. You get the natural dynamic don't come out. You don't get more consistent sound. Now the difference between the audios, the waveform where they for up and the waveform where they for down. You get. Now, I want to talk about this threshold, attack, and release. What I want to talk about now, I know many times we hear about fast attack, fast release, slow attack, slow release. You get now. So, wetin be this fast attack? And wetin be the fast release? You understand? Now, I want to talk about now. Wetin be this fast attack? And wetin be this fast release? We'll talk about that now. Now, I'll first talk about fast attack. I talk about fast attack. I talk about slow attack. I talk about fast release. I talk about slow release. You understand? So fast attack will quash. My heart is released now. Oh, wow. So fast attack go attack. It go squeeze the initial transient. You get the initial transient. That first, the beginning, that entrance. Fast attack go catch am. You go attack the beginning of the sound. You go hold am more aggressively, like it go catch the whole thing potentially. So it go lose the whole thing, go lose the punch and impact, but also it go bring this more controlled. You understand? This more controlled and more predictable sound. Everything go dey unified and everything go dey okay. You get. Why slower attack now? This allows more of the initial transient to pass through. Look when I explained the first time. If you didn't do that pull, you want to make a catch up from that pull, which is that this pull now the transient assumption. More assume now this pull now your transient. It's a transient. So this pull now transient. You understand? This pull now transient. So as this pull enter now, fast attack go catch am from beginning. As it enter, fast attack go catch am. But if now slow attack, this pull, the first pull go first pass before the attack will begin to activate. That's why you can't get a more slower attack. Yeah, you understand the whole thing now. So you will get a more slower attack, but this one will allow those natural character and punch come through. It is good for instruments, and I did that for vocals too. I know they allow my attack to the fast, like I leave them for slow attack, then fast release. You get slow attack, fast release. So me, I like my own for slow attack and fast release, like that, like that, like that, like that. So what do you mean by more come to fast release now? Fast release now, this compressor will quickly release the gain reduction, meaning I go drop one diagram now. Yeah, I go bring the diagram up sooner, very, very soon. So this compression will quickly release the gain reduction, meaning the sound will return to the original level faster. If the release now, if you come for faster release, once the sound enter, you know wetin dey happen with those transients na reduction. If they try one balance the whole thing, but as you do the reduction, volume they go down, they cut, they release volume, they chop the volume come out from the vocal sample. So as those volume they come out, wetin the release they help you do, they help you increase the volume back sharp, fast release. You go help you increase the volume back sharp, so that you no go quick. People with the hear no go quick notice say something don't happen around that corner. You understand? So slower release now the opposite of what I just talked now. You get it takes longer time to release the gain reduction, resulting in a smoother and more sustained sound. It can be helpful for preserving the natural decay of a sound for smoothing out the dynamics. You get so now the opposite of it I don't talk. Me, I prefer faster release and slower attack for my vocal samples, so that I feel keep that punchiness, even for kick too. You know, I feel keep that punchiness and everything, make it just quickly J. So now like this now, I go bring up that diagram, we could quickly study them together. We'll study the diagram together. Then if we study the diagram together now, we'll come try to example, we'll see how the whole thing they work. Now, so you see this green line waiting for up now. This green line waiting for up here. Now be the threshold. The green line waiting for down too now, that threshold. Yeah, you see this middle now, now be your fast attack. This middle now na fast attack. You see wetin dey happen here now. The moment the sample, this peak now, it reach this fast attack, the fast attack catch am for there. Now there e hold am. Remember the explanation. Then the release now they do the gain reduction. This fast attack now they do the gain reduction. You understand? So once you don't do them like this now, this gain now where they come up, now the release now. The release now they increase, now they bring this gain. This cut now, the release now they bring the gain back to a consistent level. If you notice where this slope dey, now where this cut out dey for here, and this slope dey, you get now. But once the attack catch, it go carry and come back to a consistent volume. Now, slower attack. You see, say the first samples don't enter first before the compression kick in, which is a slower attack. You catch them from the middle, then come release them from back. Sure, you don't understand. Now, this diagram go explain everything for us. You understand? The diagram will explain everything for us. So that is it. So now we could record our own sample. We could try compress them. We will do two ways. We will do faster attack, slower release, slower attack, faster release. We go run on like that. First, make I change my audio interface to my mixing console. Okay, so here now, more record. More just record anything. Let me turn metronome off. Ale, logo ale, ale, hey, logo ale. Ah. So I don't know if anyone they pay attention to how I just sing now. I don't say they laugh my voice. All right. So I try to push them up. So we'll go see exactly what they talk about. So this it now. Let's give it output. Logo ale. Okay now. Ale. Okay now. Hey. Okay now. Logo ale. That's how they sound. Oh Jesus, I need a vocal coach. Help me God. Okay, let's pull out the compressor now. More observe what they go on for that compressor. You get. Now see the compressor now. More play am. So remember, I say anywhere where you set your threshold now, where you want make the volume reduction start from. You get. So more set them around -18. More play again. So I'll make you pay attention to that. Oh, my play again. Pay attention to that chord. You see as the red lines they come down. So now where the reduction for the loudest part they kick in with that. So make I decrease the threshold now. You could see as you could take the kick. I never touch the attack now. They on fast attack and they on a more slower release. So make I make the release they a little bit more slower safe. You get now this is fast attack. I put our fast attack around 1.5, 1.5, 1.4. Okay, I don't pass. Okay, moving around 1.4, 1.4. I don't pass 1.5. Good. So we'll leave the release at a more slower release, 500. So we'll play the sample. So if you notice those silent parts come up, then you see the reduction with the yeah. So now remove this auto gain. So I know get auto gain again. You will hear the reduction raw now. So you notice when I shout that, hey, so as you take press and go down, so that everything go day more consistent and balanced. So make I reduce the threshold again, come down. I just want people to see the difference. So you see, if you don't pay attention to the compressor, you see as they press the whole stuff. Now it sound a little bit more consistent. My threshold, especially when it comes to vocal, I like do 4.1. Make the ratio for 4.1. I like it like that, so that this slope go day a little bit more, sweet. Maybe the compression does the pass, when. So let's take it to a slower attack and a faster release. So go here now. You see, say the compression they kick in from the beginning of that shot, they kick it from the middle of that shot, just the way that diagram So you see where they kick in. They kick in from the from the middle of the sample instead of from the beginning of the sample. So more increase the threshold. Now instead of reducing, more increase the threshold. More see. Because notice now, say some of those transients could they pass on their own. Now. If you notice now, those transients just they pass. It just they enter. So no compression. For me now, this threshold then is set the level of your compression. Now that the threshold is very high, no compression is being done. So you have to make sure that you have your compressor, your threshold down, depending on what you hear. So you got to set your compressor, set those threshold according to what you hear. You understand now? So we'll bring them back to faster attack, slower release. Like I said. If you notice now, the vocals now don't they more consistent. At the hear the lower part, they come up, and the part they do the steady balance. So what I want to do now, moku bring the gain up. You if you turn on the auto gain, it will help you adjust the thing automatically to the previous level where it been there before you compress them, so that everything go there okay. Ale. Or if you dial in the volume yourself. Ale. Logo Ale. Ale. Hey. Logo Ale. Ah. So here I am now, ba. So now I dial in the volume myself. You can either dial it yourself or you want to make the auto gain help you run them. Me, I don't dial them myself. So you see, that is basically everything about compression. Compression will be hard something. Yeah, so you're not supposed to give us problem. But this is compression explained. So if you want me to talk about any other thing, just drop them for comment section. We will talk about them ASAP for the next video. Yeah? So see you guys. Until the next time, my name remains Udali. Catch ya.